letting down the fat community if I do this thing for myself.
Who cares? Let them down. Let them down. Let them wallow in their own misery. Let them down, because your health matters more than their freaking feelings. End of story. End of discussion. They know that their life sucks. They know that they feel bad about the position that they put themselves in. And the only way that they're going to make themselves feel better is by keeping you there with them. So stop caring about what they think about you and your health journey, and start caring about yourself and your family, because those are the people who are going to be there for you. Not these fat liberationists on freaking TikTok. Howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Melina, formerly fat, currently fed up. And today we are checking out our favorites. Not the fan favorite, which is what I eat in a day as a fat person, but I feel like the second fan favorite, which is fat liberation delusion. Yes. I have compiled some TikToks just for you guys. We will react. We will discuss. Like always, I've only seen the first 5-ish seconds of these videos, so my reaction is authentic and just as surprised as you are. Very quickly before we start, go check out my merch if you are interested in some Honey Bison stickers or magnets telling you to knock it off, or you've had enough sweet treats. I feel like we've all had enough sweet treats, or that something is simply unnecessary, or you just like my side eye, slightly judgy face. I do have those available on my website, honeybison.com. I do have some more coming in. My sticker bundle is currently sold out, but I did just do another order today. So when will this video be up? What is today? Today's Monday. Today's been a very busy day. I'm actually doing a video of what a day in the life of a woman who works 9 to 5 and does YouTube and content creation and training and all that good stuff. It's already been a very long day. This is why I'm in my car. If you are new here, I have a very limited time that I can actually record and edit videos, so I take the time that I have and I do what I can. Before we get started, make sure you like this video. It really does help, and make sure you are subscribed, because half of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. However, you guys keep coming back for more. Yes, I see the analytics. You keep coming back, so you might as well subscribe. I am chasing 40,000 subscribers. I know that is a lot, but I believe in you guys. All right, where are my headphones? I also ordered some more keychains, but it's a different style than this one. This one I only got 10, and I signed, well, I didn't sign mine, but I signed and I put 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 3, 4, 5, whatever out of 10. So only 10 people in the entire world. And I will say world because some of the people who bought it were in different countries. You guys are so incredible and so sweet. I'm so grateful, and that is so loud. Alrighty, this one was posted 3 days ago by a woman named Javi. The cover of it says, "Being chubby is not equal to being unattractive."
Understand why people are fat phobic, or like, oh, if you're big, you're so unattractive. I just dropped my own belly, and I'm like, oh, she's so soft and squishy. Like, I would love to cuddle myself. I would love to be all up on me, over me, everything. And you're telling me I'm unattractive? Trying to convince me that I'm unattractive. Also, again, attractiveness is in the eye of the beholder, and it's not a body weight, and it's also about your aura, all this, but yada yada yada. But you get the gist. Like, y'all are making me feel bad and ugly because I got a so cute belly. No. I literally cannot understand why.
Okay, so there's a few things with this. One, I'll start out, let me move this.
I literally cannot understand.
So she's not looking all crazy. One, I will start out with a compliment. I do think her face is pretty. I do think she is a pretty woman. Now, on to the rest of her statement. So if you're big, you are so unattractive. People are allowed to be attracted to different body types and body sizes. You can be attracted to someone's face and not be attracted to their body. A good example of this is Tess Holliday. I think Tess Holliday is a very beautiful woman, regardless if she does her makeup or does like the Botox and the fillers and all that. I think her face is objectively attractive. I am not attracted to her body. I don't think her body is beautiful. I have a very specific type of body that I like and prefer on women. Not that my opinion matters, but you can't sit here and say, well, how are you going to tell me I'm not attractive just because I'm fat? Well, it's because I'm simply not attracted to fat bodies on men or women.
I just dropped my own belly, and I'm like, oh, She's so soft and squishy.
So that part is very weird to me. I just rub my own belly and she's so soft and squishy. It's very weird to me how people, mostly women, I'm sure some men might do this, but I've seen maybe 1 or 2 men in the fat acceptance community or fat positive, whatever community. Sorry if you hear a dog barking. Someone's loading their car up here. When they rub their belly and they're like, oh, let me put my do not disturb on. Leave me alone. Get out of here, notifications. They're rubbing their belly and they're like, oh, I love my belly. It's so soft and cute. And it's just very strange to me because if you are fat and you're rubbing your fat belly, the only thing that your stomach is when it's fat is excess tissue. It's excess adipose tissue. The only reason you are gaining fat is because you are simply eating too much food. Over time, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, you are consuming more calories than you need. So your body, you take in the energy, the food, the calories. Your body uses what it can, which is your maintenance calories. For example, my maintenance right now is around 1,700 calories. If I eat on average, a weekly average, not a daily average, your body works on weekly averages for fat loss. If I ate 1,700 calories every single day, averaged out 1,700, I would stay the same. Now, if I eat under 1,700 calories on average for the week, I will lose weight. And the opposite is true. If I eat over 1,700 calories on average during the week, I will gain weight. That is just how energy balance works. So when they try to make it seem like, oh, my tummy is so cute and so soft, they're like infantilizing themselves. And it's like, the only thing that is you eating too much. And it comes out in the form of body fat. It's very, very weird to me.
Like, I would love to cuddle myself. I would love to be all up on me, over me, everything. And you're telling me I'm unattractive?
Well, if you're attracted to plus size women, then that's fine, but do not expect everyone else to be attracted to plus size women or plus size men. The way that humans are wired on a very basic biological level is to be attracted to bodies that do not look diseased. Now, don't get mad when I say that, but when you are obese, obesity is a disease. When you are extremely underweight or extremely overweight, humans are not attracted to that because it's not healthy. On average, we are attracted to healthy bodies.
Trying to convince me that I'm unattractive. Also, again, attractiveness is in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly. Attractiveness is in the eye of the beholder. And if someone is not attracted to you because you are obese, then they're not attracted to you because you are obese. One of the common tropes in the fat acceptance community is trying to force people to be attracted to fat bodies. Stop. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
If you are a plus size baddie who travels often, you are probably not only aware but saddened by the
I am not plus sized and I do not travel often. This video is not for me, but we shall continue.
The announcement that Southwest has changed their customer of size policy. And
Customer of size is crazy. I can't believe that was even a thing.
it's a sad day. There's no way around that. But I do think that there is a little something we can do. So let's get into it. So if you're unaware, Southwest has undergone quite a few changes. They have switched from open seating to assigned seating. They used to offer 2 free bags, full-size check bags. They no longer offer that. And of course, they previously had a customer of size policy that allowed a person of size to have 2 seats side by side, obviously offering more room. It was very simple to obtain these seats. To guarantee access, you would simply buy 2 seats, go to the airport, they would refund 1 seat.
Now, what are my thoughts about that policy in general? I think that policy, I don't care what the airline does in terms of their money, their profit, whatever. It's not my business. It's not my company. I buy my seat. As long as someone else is not spilling into my seat, I don't care how they do that. Some people are like, well, it's not fair that they get refunded. At the end of the day, after I step off that plane, I do not think about that plane or that flight or that person ever again. So I do think that that policy in general was fine, because the only other option is, one, you don't have them get a separate seat and then you have to deal with someone invading your personal space, or two, they purchase the extra seat and then don't get refunded. In my opinion, as long as I am not being touched by someone else, and this also applies to big, like, bodybuilders. Granted, they are fewer and far in between, but I would have the same problem if I was sat next to, I don't know, Sebum, and Sebum was spilling into my seat and touching his body parts on my body parts. I don't want to be touched by anyone, fat or muscle. So if you cannot fit in the seat, which means putting the armrest down and not having your body parts spilling over, you need a second seat. Now, is it fair to have them pay for two? I think yes, because you are using two seats. So why would you pay for a single seat? Should they refund them for the other seat? I don't care. At that point, I do not care, as long as I have my space. I miss MySpace so much. They need to create another social media like MySpace. That's where I started on social media. It was like, was it 2007 or 2008? Because I was in middle school. I'm aging myself. I'm 31. My birthday was October 6th. I am a Libra. People were like, I knew you were a Libra. And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. What is it? My sun? That's the main one, right? My sun sign is Libra. And my moon sign, is that the second one, is Scorpio. I don't know what any of that means, but people were like, I knew it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
On your way. Or if the flight was not full, you could even request the second seat at the airport. Very convenient, very easy. Well, toodaloo to that. And this is on the tail end of them changing their assigned seating, and they're kind of blaming it on that. But I think this goes a little deeper, because to be honest, this policy went viral. I'm not exactly sure how long ago, we'll just say last year for the sake of this video, but a few months ago, some time ago, it went viral, and the backlash from the general public was terrible. So am I surprised that they did away with this policy? Absolutely not. As soon as I saw the backlash, I was like, our days are numbered. And sure enough, here we are. Now, with all of that being said, this is what I think we can do. Collective spending matters. And when we're speaking about Southwest, there's nothing special about Southwest. Their rates aren't necessarily more affordable. Their accommodations definitely are not better, generally speaking. Their planes are older, the technology isn't advanced. There's nothing special about them. The only thing that was special was that they offered the customer size policy, that they offered, open seating, which some people love, some people didn't like, and that they offered 2 free bags, which is extremely.
How do you guys feel about open seating versus assigned seating? I like assigned seating more, because I like to choose my seat. I like to be able to choose my seat. If I'm traveling with someone, it is nice to sit next to them. And then also for boarding's sake, I can spend less time in the plane and more time outside of the plane, because your assigned seat is your assigned seat. So you can be the very last one to board and your seat will be open. Whereas with open seating, I believe they assign you to a group and you can pay to get into a higher group. But yeah, you get in and it's like all the middle ones are empty, and it's like, oh, dang it.
Helpful and makes the flight more affordable. They have taken all of that away. So why wouldn't we spend money somewhere else? If we have to buy 2 seats, why wouldn't we buy 2 seats with maybe a more affordable airline? Or maybe
that's fair. I see no problem with that.
We'll just take a stand against the fact that they've taken away something from us and just put our money somewhere else. I don't know about you, but that's what I plan to do. I'm not flying with Southwest anymore. I've already deleted the app, and I'll take my money elsewhere, because that, I think, will create a deficit in the bottom line, and there's a possibility that we can then reverse these changes, or at least that's my hope. Do I have any great scientific facts for you? No. But what I will say is that I have worked in and around the plus size community for well over a decade. As some of you know that have followed me for a while, I host body positive events. And at these events, we have anywhere from, I think our biggest event, we've had 600 people, but usually we average 300-400 people an event.
I should start making anti-fat acceptance events. See how many people we can get there. That'd be kind of fun, huh? What would we do though? Work out? We'd work out. I'd have a bunch of booths, or not food trucks, but like people who have food there, and it's all like healthy, whole foods. And then once you leave, when you're walking out, then there will be some sweet treats there, but you get that at the end as like a little reward or something. But you don't get sweet treats while you're there. We're eating fiber, we're eating protein, we're staying hydrated. There will be different creatine brands there with different flavors. This sounds like a fitness event, not an anti-body positivity, body act. They have so many words. Body positivity, fat activist event.
I know a lot of fatties. I love a lot of fatties. I have a lot of friends that are plus size baddies. A lot of, you know, larger.
Imagine the outrage of someone with skinny saying, I only love skinny people. All of my friends are only skinny. Well, that probably does happen on Skinny Talk.
And women in my life and everything in between. And
oh, that is actually a very good point to talk about. So if you are someone who, I don't want to sound like mean when I say this, but if you have a group of friends and there are five of you in that group, you're not fat, the other 4 are, the likelihood of you becoming the 5th fat person is extremely high. You have to be very careful and very mindful about the people you surround yourself with, because if they just want to eat hot Cheetos, lay in bed, watch movies, not move their bodies, order takeout, drink all the time, like booze, you're going to end up doing those things too. And if you are someone who wants to become healthier and more active, lose body fat, gain muscle, you need to surround yourself around people who are doing those things. When I first started going back to the gym in 2021, I'm pointing here because it was in this direction, the gym, it was good, it was okay. It was full of like mostly beginners like me. And as time progressed and my seriousness for lifting also progressed, I knew that I needed to surround myself with people who are doing better than me. And I'm not saying that me compared to them at this gym, like, oh, I'm better than them. However, there comes a time in fitness, there's different levels to it, right? You have the beginners / the people who are kind of just like, oh, la-di-da, I'm just here, you know, I'm going to cycle for like 10. There was always a lady, or was it a man or a woman? I don't remember. This is years ago. Super old. They would go there, get on, not even like the normal cycle, like to sit down, and they would just cycle with their legs and read a book, which is fine. Like at least it's some movement, but that type of person isn't like serious about health, wellness, and fitness. They're just there to get a little bit movement in and go. So there were a lot of people like that, people who were just not about it. And I said, dang, I need to find a gym with people who are doing better than me. So I found a gym, I visited, I saw the type of people there, and I was like, oh, these are more serious people. This is what I need. Because I went from feeling like, oh, I'm doing so good at this place compared to like these people, to, oh my gosh, I feel like a newbie, I feel like a beginner, and like these people are doing awesome and great, so I use them as motivation. So where was I going on that tangent? Oh, if you want to get into that world, you need to surround yourself with people who are doing those things. And if your friends are not into those types of things, it's like, yeah, of course you can keep them as friends, but you need to make a decision eventually of how often are you going to hang out with them, and if those people are going to be conducive to your goals or not.
We were all on top of this customer size policy. This is going to create a deficit. If we go somewhere else, Southwest will feel it. So that is my suggestion.
I don't know about that. I would like to see some data on that.
To everyone is, not only should we be complaining on all of their platforms, and be prepared. When you complain, when you are fat and loud, there will be people that come against you. So what? But complain and take your dollars elsewhere. I think that's the only hope that we have that we can reverse this. And maybe another airline will step up. I mean, this is a good opportunity for another airline to step up. Like, okay, Southwest isn't servicing this subset of people. Maybe someone else will. I don't have.
Maybe. I mean, I doubt it. What was the biggest hang up with the customer of size policy? Like, why did people not like it? Is it because, and this is just me thinking off the top of my head, is it because it took away a seat from someone else that they could purchase? But then at the same time, it's like, sure, someone else could have purchased it, but then the big person would be spilling onto them. So don't you want them to have another seat? Or was it Southwest thinking, oh, we're losing a lot of money, we're losing a whole extra seat worth for the customers of size because they're getting refunds after? Maybe it was that. Maybe it was less of the public complaining about it and more of Southwest just wanting to make more money, which, whatever, it's a business.
You know how I know it's okay to be fat? Because if people thought you were truly not okay, they wouldn't treat you the way they did. Like, if they thought you had cancer or something, they would be huge a-holes for saying the things that they said. So it must be okay. And also, if you're not okay, it's still okay.
Okay, a few things with this one.
You know how I know it's okay to be fat?
It is not okay to be fat. It is not healthy. The number one killer in America is heart disease. Being fat is not okay. I'm not saying that being fat makes you a bad person. I'm not saying it makes you a loser. I'm not saying any of that. I know plenty and many of wonderful, wonderful fat people. When I say it is not okay to be fat, I'm speaking purely from a health standpoint and a mental health standpoint, because yes, I was fat for a period in my life. I am 4'11". I was around 160 pounds. I rapidly gained over 50 pounds in 1 year due to a very bad depressive episode, and I didn't have any tools in my toolkit. So what did I do? I used what I knew: eating and drinking. I was a hinge. If you're new here, we can't say the big B word because YouTube will take away my dollars. And age restrict the video, so it just doesn't, they don't push it out to people, which sucks, because I feel like the message that I spread is important, and I do know it is important because of the hundreds and hundreds of messages I receive on a weekly basis, which, if you send me these messages, from the bottom of my heart, like, you guys have made me cry. I appreciate the messages so much. I do my very, very, very best to respond to all of them on Instagram. It does take me a while. I'm not complaining. I feel very grateful and blessed for all of you guys, all the stories you send me, everything. I know what I'm doing is important. I'm not just here chatting shit and like, you just hate fat people. I don't. If I hated fat people, my rhetoric would be a lot different. I don't hate anything. I dislike the body positivity movement for what it is now. I dislike the fat acceptance / fat liberation movement because it encourages people to stay unhealthy, just like Angelica Unfiltered says, which, by the way, I know I talk about her in almost every video. It's because she is my online homegirl. You need to go follow her because she is close to, I think, 16,000 subs, and she's trying to hit 20,000, which is absolutely feasible. So she is very similar to me. The difference is she was in the fat acceptance community, so she was making videos like this on TikTok, and she found her way out, thankfully, to the right side, and we have welcomed her with open arms. But yeah, she is incredible. So like always, I will shout her out until she gets to 20K. I mean, I'll still shout her out after that because I believe in uplifting other creators. The more that we can talk about this and get people away from the fat acceptance, fat liberation side, the better. I will not shut up until they're all gone. Not dead, but, you know, back onto a healthy side. Where was I going with that? I go off on so many tangents. I am so sorry. I don't even remember what I was saying. Was it like, I don't hate fat people? Correct. I don't hate fat people. I want people to be healthy. I think I was talking about mental health because I was super depressed. Because I was hinging, and eating and drinking, and I've been hinging since I was a child. So I was suffering with a lot. Sorry, there's like a little fuzzy thing on my camera. I was suffering with mental health issues since childhood, diagnosed, all that good stuff, bad stuff. And only recently, within the last like 5-ish years, I finally took control of my life, went through very intensive therapy, different types, DBT, CPT, individual, lots of it, and clawed my way out, fixed myself, fixed my relationship with food, lost the weight, gained muscle, and then I'm now I'm consistent of 4+ years lifter, and now an endurance athlete. I say that because I run races, although I'm injured right now, but I've done an ultra marathon. It was a 12-hour endurance race, 43.8 miles, lots of trail running, all that good stuff. So it's like I've been there, and just because I wasn't fat my entire life, that doesn't discount the work that I've put in. Like, I get those comments occasionally where it's like, well, you don't know what it's actually like to be fat. And it's like, I spent over 2 years of my life obese and suicidal, hinge drinking and hinge eating every single day, putting myself into multi-tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt, mostly due to DoorDash. Not due to DoorDash, due to my choices, but most of it was DoorDash. Crying myself to sleep, waking up with all the food around me from the DoorDash from the night before. Like, I know what it's like. I may not know what it's like to be a fat kid, but I do know what it's like to be a kid with a hinging problem. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and go drink maple syrup. That's the example I give all the time, because it's the most like eye-shocking one. Like, oh, you did what? Yeah, my parents wondered why I had cavities because I brushed my teeth, but it's like, yeah, I was drinking maple syrup in the middle of the night. So I've been there. I've been through a lot. I worked through it. And now I'm here to show and tell everyone that it is possible to get out of it. It is possible to be at the lowest lows of your life. Literally Googling most pain-free way to, you know what, to now living a life that I've only dreamt of. Like, I'm not religious, so I won't say prayed for, but that I have like cried myself to sleep thinking about. So if I can do that, you can do it too. So this is why I make the videos that I do. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, so it's not okay from a health point to be fat. And let me pull this up really quick. So a lot of people think and this is kind of related to what I said earlier, how they'll touch their bellies and be like, oh, my cute belly, blah, 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 blah. They are real side effects to having excess adipose tissue, and I will read some out to you. So excess body fat is harmful for several interconnected reasons, affecting not only appearance, but your metabolism, hormones, organs, and long-term health. Here is a breakdown. 1. Strains the heart and circulation. Extra fat means your heart has to work harder to pump blood through more tissue. Over time, this raises your risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. Number 2, it disrupts hormones. Fat tissue is not just storage, it is active. It releases hormones like leptin, which is your fullness hormone, estrogen, and inflammatory cytokines that in excess can cause insulin resistance, fatigue, and chronic inflammation. Number 3, damages metabolic health. When fat builds up around your organs, especially your liver and pancreas, it can lead to type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, and poor blood sugar control. Visceral fat, which is the fat around your organs, is especially dangerous. Number 4, impacts mental health. Obesity and excess body fat have been linked to increased risk of depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem, partly due to inflammation and partly due to social and psychological factors. 5, reduces mobility and function. Extra fat puts mechanical stress on joints, tendons, and ligaments, accelerating wear and tear. It makes movement harder, reduces endurance, and can discourage physical activity, creating a vicious cycle. 6, worsens sleep and recovery. Fat around your neck and upper body increases the risk of sleep apnea and poor oxygenation at night, which disrupts recovery, hormones, and energy levels. 7, speeds up aging. Chronic inflammation and oxidative stress from excess fat accelerate cell damage and aging, increasing the risk of conditions like dementia and certain cancers. So no, it is not okay to be fat, and I don't want you to be fat. Like I always say, I don't want to rid the world of obese people. I want to rid the world of obesity. I want every single obese / overweight, but overweight, you can still be healthy and be slightly overweight. Like that's totally fine. And a lot of people do prefer their body fat levels to be on the very beginning tail end of overweight. So that's fine. But I want to rid the world of obesity as a disease?
Because if people thought you were truly not okay, they wouldn't treat you the way they did. Like if they
I do think there is a difference between people who genuinely hate fat people and spew vitriol and like actual hateful rhetoric, and people like me who makes videos talking about the risk factors and why you should not want to be obese anymore, and then giving you tips and tricks and sharing my story. Those are two different people. I don't agree with the people who make the vitriolic videos and TikToks and making fun of fat people just to make fun of them. Like I don't do that. You can't find a video that I do that. Am I direct and blunt and honest? Yes, but I do not make fun of fat people. I do not say I fucking hate fat people, like fat people suck. No, because that's silly, right? So yeah, that's what I'll say to that point.
thought you had cancer or something, they would be huge a-holes for saying the things that they said. So it must be okay. And also, if you're not okay, it's still okay.
Now, I also don't know how to feel about that statement. If you're not okay, that is okay. But why are you okay with not being okay? Is she saying like if you're going through something and if you feel bad, like it's okay to feel bad? Yes, of course it's okay to feel your emotions and to, process them and all of that. That is okay. But when it comes to fat activists just saying, if you're sick, that's fine. Like it's okay. It's really not that big of a deal. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And why are you trying to keep people fat and sick? It reminds me of the crabs in a bucket mentality or analogy where, and this is actually pretty common in the fat acceptance community, because once someone leaves, oh my God, you are dead to them.
I am just going to treat every fat creator who has freshly turned into a weight loss influencer as if they've died. So as far as I'm concerned, she's dead now. I don't care what anyone does with their body. I don't care what anyone does with their body.
They want nothing to do with you. Even if you say, hey, I'm leaving this community and losing body fat because I am sick. I've been diagnosed with X, Y, and Z, and I want to fix it. They still don't care. They don't care because they see it as you making changes for yourself is a direct attack on them. And oftentimes what I find is the people who have tried to lose weight and simply can't for whatever reason, usually a lack of consistency and being honest, and a lack of having systems and tools and skills on how to lose weight. Because like I always say, fat loss is simple. It is not easy. Simple, not easy. Period. Losing weight was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Hardest? I don't know. One of. Probably top 3. Because it is hard. It is very hard. It's not easy. When whoever says that it is easy are lying. Or just haven't actually experienced fat loss and having to lose any amount of weight.
I'm an influencer.
This woman scares me. I'm just going to go out and say that. Oh, Angelica just did a video on her also. Check that one out because she covered a lot. It was hilarious.
And that's a term I haven't called myself over the past 3 years of having this account because of how stigmatized that term is. It's seen as unserious, laughable, like, oh, you're trying to be an influencer. But when I really think about what I do here, call myself a plus size fashion content creator, a body positive content creator, isn't right. Because, okay, yes, I create content, but there's nothing special about it. It's not aesthetic. There's no skill involved in it. Especially when I consider true content creators who actually have artistry and a skill set and an eye for that kind of a thing. But that's not what I do here. But what I do here is influence. I want to
You influence me, all right, to make videos about you because your takes are crazy and full of cope.
Influence people to dress the way that they want to dress, regardless of body shape and body size.
Now that I can get behind. I think if you are a big person or a super skinny person, dress however the fuck you want. Do it. We do not care. Dress however you want. So her just showing clothes and fashion is not a problem to me at all because it's like, whatever. Do I care about the content? No. Do I watch that content? No. I should actually watch content of petite women because finding clothes for myself is hard because of how short I'm 4'11", so most clothes are extremely long on me. But also the vast majority of her content is just like fat liberation stuff. All the copium explaining why it's okay to be fat and we need to revolutionize, blah, blah, blah. No.
I want to influence people to have the confidence to move through the world how they see fit. I want to influence people to add.
I want to influence people. Sorry, my nail is broken. Oh, I didn't mean to flip you off. My nail is, I smushed it and it broke, so I had to file it down. I need to get my nails done. I do like this color though. It's like a light brown or a chai color. I don't know. What color should I do next? Let me know what color I should do next in the comments. I don't even know if I have time to get my nails done this week. I have so much going on. I'm here to influence people to have personal responsibility, to have extreme ownership over the decisions and the actions that they are taking, and to develop relentless discipline, because these three pillars changed my freaking life. Absolutely changed my life. And if you are looking for a group of people who are also on this path, no matter where you're starting, where you're coming from, if you've given up before, you want to start again, if you're nervous, any of that, my 30-day habit tracker, you can get it on my website, either PDF or on Amazon, comes with my Discord access. And in my Discord, there are a good chunk of people in there now. I think there's like 120 people in there now. And we are all doing the same thing. We are all doing the tracker. I have different channels where there's like general chit chat, there's meals, so you post about your meals if you want. You don't have to. Get advice and suggestions from other people, see what other people are eating. There's exercise/workouts, so you can post how many steps you did today and get some applause. There's the daily check-ins, and then I think there might be another one in there right now. But yeah, if you're looking for other nice, sweet, like-minded people, check it out.
Advocate for themselves, for their comfort, and for their safety. I want to influence how people perceive fat people beyond the stereotypes we're used to seeing. That's what I want to do. That's what I try to do. So yeah, I am an influencer of, I don't know, attitudes and mindsets and social constructs. So let me reintroduce myself. Hi, I'm Hannah, and
I don't care. Sorry, Hannah. I don't like the vast majority of your content if it comes to body liberation or fat liberation or whatever it is.
And I was shopping at Torrid yesterday because it's literally the only plus size store that I can actually go into near where I live. It's like 30 minutes away. They don't carry pants above like a size 24 or 26 anymore in store. But kind of pissed me off, I'm not gonna lie.
So you guys might actually be shocked by my thought on this. I also do think it's kind of crazy that Torrid doesn't carry sizes bigger than 24, 26. I know. Does that go in line with everything else I believe in? I don't know. Am I a hypocrite? Maybe. But I feel like, how big is 24, 26? I know the average American woman is 5, this is off the top of my head. I'll fact check myself, but average American woman is overweight / obese, obviously, because 77% of Americans are overweight, and of that 44% are obese or 77% of Americans are overweight, and of that 44% are obese. So the average American woman is, I believe, 5'4" or 5'5", 180 pounds, and a size 14 or 16. So a 24, 26 is very big. However, Torrid is meant for very big people, right? So why don't they have anything bigger than that? Now, is anything bigger than 26, is that like as wide as like this car's trunk? I don't know. I'm not trying to be funny. I genuinely don't know. So maybe it's just that, like all businesses, they're not going to sell things that don't sell. Like they're not going to put them out on the floor if they don't sell. I think Old Navy does this also. Like you have to order certain things online, which, by the way, I think Samira I think she did like the whole Old Navy thing, and they're like, oh yeah, they're not on the floor, you have to order them online. I have to order my Old Navy jeans online also. When I went into Old Navy, I found one pair of jeans that fit me on the waist, because I'm not trying to make, ooh, I'm just so small and I'm so dainty. I am small. I am a small woman. And they are doing vanity sizing over there. I have one pair of blue jeans and I love them. They fit me perfectly. They are an Old Navy size 2. So what I do, these are from like years ago because my jeans, Old Navy jeans tend to last forever. So I walked inside of Old Navy. I'm like, I would like a new pair of blue jeans. And I grab a size 2 and I put it on. And it fit me like a 6 or an 8. And I'm like, what the hell? It was like falling off of me. I'm like, this is not a 2. Like, what even is a 2? Why can't women's pants be like men where the measurement is the inches and waist? Why? Well, they're doing vanity sizing. So I had to grab a 00 and put that on. And I'm like, I'm not a freaking double. I'm not what a true 00 is. I'm just not. But all of the lengths in there were all normal lengths, so they were too long for me. So I too have to order clothes online. I can't go into most shops and just try them on. Shirts, sure. Pants, dresses, oh my god, no way. Maxi dresses, I get those hemmed. Well, I don't even have any right now, but I need to get them hemmed because they are so long. Everything, it fits me like a freaking bed sheet. So I don't know. I feel like Torrid maybe should have her size there because that's who the store's for. But also maybe it just doesn't sell as well there.
I was like, the one place I should be able to go and try on things in person, and I can't.
Insane. That's literally, I had no idea. Now, even though you'd think like LA, like I should be able to fly down the street to a Torrid, it's going to take me like over 30 minutes to get to one.
Yeah.
So that's so disheartening to hear.
It is, because I'm like,
that was the place for the girls.
It was, and that's literally still the only place in my, like, the mall closest to me that has plus size clothing that I can try on in person. I'm like, I just want to buy a pair of jeans and know that it's gonna fit when I walk out of the store.
Me too. Wow, we found common ground here, or middle ground, whatever that Jubilee show is. I'm still fighting with them over my last 2 videos because they try to copyright claim me, and I'm like, nope, this falls under fair use. So if they go on to the next step, they'll have to file a lawsuit. And guess what? I have the time, sweetheart.
Having no option.
Sweethearts, whoever's running the Jubilee channel.
Is just like fucking insane.
And
yeah, okay. All right, this next one, actually, I have to go soon. This next one I sent to Angelica, and I was like, bro, I am actually scared. So I think it actually still records the sound. Even if I turn it down, I figured that out on one of my other TikToks. So the caption says, don't shrink because fascists don't F with you. Be big, be colorful, be loud. Hashtag clown core. And for those just listening, okay, if you're just listening, you need to look at her outfit. I can't even describe it. It's literally like a clown outfit. Is this this has to be a fetish. Oh, what does fascism have to do with this? If fascists don't like you, I think it's because of the clown fit, but I would wager that everyone that doesn't like you right now is because of the clown fit. If I saw this in person, I would be genuinely scared. Like what? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below on this one. All right, this very last one is by Space Bun Queen, and I think I may have seen one person cover this. I don't remember. It is a longer one, so we will see.
I don't know if I'll actually post this. This is just me getting the thoughts out of my head.
I do think, if I remember correctly, I do think this is an overall positive video and one where the fat activist is slowly finding her way out of the fat liberation, fat activist community.
A little bit of this in therapy yesterday, but I got a gym membership. And I'm feeling...
Which, by the way, if you are fat, hello, welcome to my channel. If you are fat, you belong in the gym. I'm not saying that. Whoa, don't clip that. Hey, fatty McFat, go to the freaking gym. That's how that sounded. No, what I'm saying is you do belong there. Like, the gym is not only for fit and shredded people. Anyone and everyone belongs at the gym. I feel like the gym should be, and usually is. I've never had any bad experiences. People that I know have never had any bad experiences. Do bad experiences happen? Absolutely. But I do think the overall theme or the overall attitude in gyms is that everyone knows that the people who are there to work on themselves. And if you are a fat person trying to work on themselves, why would anyone talk crap about that? If someone is shit talk, actually, I just posted about this. I wonder if I can find screenshots. There was this girl, she's a big girl in the gym. She was doing like tricep push downs and she was like, oh, day 2. And then I was scrolling and I saw this girl, of course, a girl hating like a man, who said, oh, you need to do some cardio instead. And then I commented back and I was like, why are you hating like a man? And then I posted her, can I find it? Also, while this is loading, it might not load. Follow me on Instagram, please. I actually have a 2025 bingo. I don't do resolutions. I do a bingo card. And I've hit a good chunk of them, but one of them is actually to hit 10K on Instagram. I feel like Instagram is more difficult to gain followers on. So if you would like to follow me over there, please do. I have a ton of content, tons of reels, which I think are hilarious because I make content that I would want to watch myself. So the content that I make, I laugh. Oh, look, 3 years ago today, I was single arm rowing 70-pound dumbbells. I was, this was my strength journey. Enjoying the heavy weight while I can. Oh no, it's starting to rain. Well, I love rain, but I say that because I don't have my umbrella in here. Okay, anyway, back to this. Oh, where did the original one go? I don't know. But anyway, so I reposted this woman's comment that was like, oh, she needs to do some cardio. And then I was like, I posted my response, and then she messaged me. She said, girl, out of all the other comments, you chose mine simply because I said she needed cardio. I said, yours was the first stupid comment I saw. Maybe don't be a judgmental bitch and people won't repost your stupid ass comment. And then she posted the yawning emoji, and I said, exactly. And then I blocked her ass. A part of my whole thing online is chatting shit, but there's a difference between chatting shit about horrible people who happen to be fat, Amberlynn Reed, Alexander Rodriguez, and fat people trying to better their lives. I have never and would never do that. I'll go to war for people trying to get healthy, period. So with all that being said, you do belong at the gym. And if anyone makes you feel otherwise, tell them that I will do something illegal to them.
Really conflicted about it, and like the whole fitness and diet culture and losing weight and living in a larger body and fat liberation, all the things are like running through my head. And it's like, I think for a long time I felt like if I joined a gym and lost any weight, then it would be like a slap in the face to the fat community.
And there it is. This is one of the biggest reasons why people are so, in the fat acceptance community, are so afraid to lose weight, because they are petrified of what the other fat acceptance, fat liberationists will say. And we know exactly what they're going to say. You're fat phobic. You have internalized fat phobia. You're not for the fat phobia. But imagine that with like heavy breathing because they're fat, right? You need to not give a flying about what these people think about you and what you need to do for your own life and for your own health. These people are not going to be there when you are dying in a hospital bed because you have heart disease at the age of 45. These people do not care about you. The only thing they care about is protecting their own copium, their own delusion, and keeping other people down with them. They know that their life sucks. They know that they feel bad about the position that they put themselves in. And the only way that they're going to make themselves feel better is by keeping you there with them. They don't care that you need a CPAP machine to sleep. They don't care that you can't walk up the block without being out of breath. They don't care that you can't tie your shoes without holding your breath. They don't care about your diabetic necrosis sores all over your body or your weeping legs. They don't care. The only people they care about are themselves. The fat acceptance and fat liberation movement is the epitome of glutton, self-centeredness, and greed for themselves. So stop caring about what they think about you and your health journey and start caring about yourself and your family, because those are the people who are going to be there for you. Not these fat liberationists on freaking TikTok. They don't care about you. Do it for you, please.
Because of how much that has really, I've only ever lived in a bigger body, and like that is the life that I know. And I think in the past people are like, you need to join a gym to lose weight, and it's all been.
This just makes me so sad, because here you see a woman who is very obviously struggling in her body, being who she is at this size, because let's be honest, being this big, it's hard, it is painful. I always have people in my comments telling me like, I always have people in my comment section saying, yes, it is hard being this size, and they give me examples, and especially after they lose weight, they're like, wow, I didn't know that I could, do X, Y, and Z thing, or I didn't know how much better this part of my body would feel. Let me know in the comments down below, if you are bigger or have been bigger, what were the things that surprised you about losing body fat and getting healthier? But it's so sad, because you can see that she wants to make a change, but she is just so worried about what the other fat acceptance, fat liberation people will say. That, it makes me so upset. I don't think she'll ever see this, but if she does, please, what's her name? Space Bun Queen, please know that us on this side, we're mostly on YouTube, but please know that we are rooting for you and we want you on our side. No matter where you are in your journey, I don't care if you're on day 1, I don't care if you're on day -4 because you started and then fell off. You belong on this side, and we will happily accept you on this health and wellness and fitness, whatever side.
Under this, like, this umbrella or whatever, like, we care about your health, but like no one does. They want you to be thin. And I'm 26 years old, and
I say this in a lot of my videos, I do not advocate for thinness. I advocate, especially for women, because I mean, the vast majority of my audience are women. I know there are some men here, hello, but the vast majority are women. This is one of my coworkers. He's probably like, what the heck is she doing in there? No, they know what I'm doing in here. But I advocate for being a healthy body size, and there is a big wide range of that, but also being fit. So I want women to be strong. I'm not saying you have to be a bodybuilder or Mrs. Olympia or a power lifter or a strongman woman like Miss Glitter and Bagels is. Go check out that video if you haven't already. That video was a banger. That was probably one of the longest videos I spent editing, and a masterpiece in my opinion. I was cracking the F up editing, and it seems like you guys were too. So thank you for all the support on that video. But yeah, I want women to be strong and in a healthy body. I'm not here for the thinness. I'm not here for being skinty. I'm here because women on average, around after the age of 30, we lose our bone density and our muscle mass at a faster rate, especially compared to men. This is why women experience osteoporosis more, like on a more prevalence with more. This is why women experience osteoporosis, or they're diagnosed with it at a higher rate than men. And also, 1 in every 2 women, please hear me, 1 in every 2 women after the age of 50 will break a bone due to osteoporosis. 1 in 2. That is so scary. And one of the biggest predictors of ending up in an assisted care home is the ability to take care of yourself and get yourself up off of the toilet. If you cannot sit up from the toilet, you are going to need to be in assisted living care. So that is what I'm advocating for. Eating mostly whole foods, not all whole foods. Never said that, never will. 80-20, 90-10, mostly whole foods. The other 10 to 20%, eat whatever the hell you want. And getting exercise, as in some sort of lifting / resistance training / strength training, and then some type of cardiovascular exercise. So like cardio. And that can be literally anything.
I think for the first time in my life, I am not actively trying to not be alive, and also maybe wanting to live longer. Who knew that could happen? So I genuinely have like lots of like joy and love and magic in my life now that I never thought that I would have. And I've had in small doses over the years, but like life is hard and it talks to me off our things. But like I just for the first time, I don't want to die. Oh my god. So but I also am like, am I, letting down the fat community if I do this thing for myself?
Who cares? Let them down. Let them down. Let them wallow in their own misery. Let them down, because your health matters more than their freaking feelings. End of story. End of discussion. If you are someone in like this world and you are afraid of letting down the fat community, please DM me and please let me just talk to you and let you know that I actually care about you and your health. And if you leave that community, there is a whole new world, a whole new community waiting for you with open arms. I can name 10 people in this community that I have now become mutuals with off the top of my head right now that will that will welcome you with open arms.
I have also very intentional. I don't like exercise. We're doing like very intentional movement. I've gotten older. My asthma has gotten really bad over like 2020, and like.
So 2 things with that. 1, not liking movement and exercise when you're this big is extremely common because your body hurts. I understand that. I get it. It is very important to do exercise that is low, not low intensity, low impact. So like swimming. Swimming is excellent for bigger people. It's a brilliant exercise. It's really good for you. Swimming's hard, first of all. But it is good on your joints. Number 2, asthma. Sorry, I forgot the second half of what I was going to say. You can develop asthma from being bigger. So, of course, there are like different things, like different reasons why people do develop asthma. But people with obesity have a higher risk of developing asthma. So the more you lose, the better your asthma can get.
Got really bad over like 2020, and like knock on wood, like it's been fine recently, but like I do my nasal treatments and stuff like that. So I just don't feel good anymore in my body physically. I'm not able to do things. I don't have any stamina when I'm trying to like do something. And so like I walk up all the stairs in the evening to check on my dog, and I'm winded, and I want to feel better in my body. And so I think the healthiest mindset I've ever had about.
And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with wanting to feel better in your body at all. I can't even believe people argue that.
It's like I'm not getting a scale. I'm not doing anything with a personal trainer. I'm not doing a body scan or a BMI. We're not doing any of that. That's not what I want to do. I'm just going. I'm doing the things that my friend is telling me to do. I'm doing them at my own pace. If it's too hard for me, I'm not going to push myself too hard. If it's physically uncomfortable or if I can't breathe, I did find my emergency inhaler, which is good. And like just not getting on a scale and literally just working on building like the energy that I just don't have anymore as I've gotten older. I remember my friend and I used to go in high school, and that one was very much like I need to lose weight, which like not the whole thing, but we did it consistently for a long time. And I was doing 2 or 3 minute planks and wall sits and squats and all things, and was felt fine. We did it the other day. I still can't move my legs, and that's okay. But we're doing our best. I just think that there's like such a negative sort of thing of like I've over-identified, and that could be true, but also it is who I am. It's part of who I am, and it affects every single moment of my life. Living a larger body does, from the seats that I sit in at restaurants to the like safety things to doctors. I mean, it affects everything. Fashion.
Yeah, the things that you have to think about when you are this size is absolutely insane. Things that someone in a normal, healthy sized body does not have to think about. And you can get to that point where you don't need to think about going, okay, does the restaurant I'm going to have seats that fit me, or a table that pulls out, or am I going to fit in this airplane seat? Am I going to fit in this ride at Great America? You don't have to worry about those things, and it is so freeing. Not that I have ever had to deal with that, because I was just class 1 obese, but I'm just speaking as if I was, if that makes sense.
Clothes, and it has been the center of my world. And I don't necessarily know that if I would assume that doing something like this consistently will come with weight loss. And if it does, that is not my goal for the first time. In my head, I have insecurities. That's not anybody's business, sort of thing, and whatever. And I'm working through like, is this just an insecurity? Is this internalized fat phobia? Like, I'm working through all of that. But
yeah, and that's one thing. If you end up changing your habits to healthier habits, you will lose weight. It comes with it. This is the first time. It's like very much. I just want to feel better. I want to be able to run around with my godchildren and not be tired after 2 minutes, and keep up with my dog who's almost 11, but like still has more energy than I do. And so
yeah, but no, I don't want to know what my weight is. I'm not doing measurement things. I'm not doing any of that. That's not the goal. I want to spend time with my friend, and because we're gonna go together, spend time with my friends, and just like exist in a world and in a space where I can just like feel free to move my body and still be okay taking up space. I have some insecurities about just like and fears about like being at the gym, and we were doing something the other day, and there were like teenage boys around, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be here, you know. But
teenagers in general are just very scary. Just ignore them. Teenagers are brutal. They scare me.
Yeah, I think I've just hit the point where like I genuinely, I've always been a very like, I've lived my life in a very passive way because I have not wanted to live, and I have not taken care of myself in some ways as a form of self-harm. And so to hit this point where I was like, no, it might actually be okay to like be alive and enjoy it and not feel guilt for enjoying it, even when people are suffering.
And one thing that kind of reminds me of is when people are like, well, you know, you had to live a little. And it's like, well, first of all, no one is saying you can't eat the fun foods and go do things or drink things that you want to. It's just you should not be doing that in excess because it leads to this. And then also, one of the stupidest phrases, it's like, well, we all end up dying anyway. It's like, well, you know, we all end up dying. And it's like, yeah, but are you really living? Because people who suffer with obesity and end up dying from obesity-related causes, they're not dying a painless, quick death. They are, and you can ask, if you are a nurse or anyone that works in that type of field, let me know your stories down below of what you've seen, because the people that I know who have passed away from those types of causes spend decades miserable, losing their eyesight, losing their legs, their limbs, their feet, not being able to walk properly, in pain for years and years because they simply don't want to change. So yes, we all do die. However, do you want to die, you know, as an old person who is not in pain all the time, who doesn't have sores, who has their eyesight still? Or you can spend years and years, decades and decades suffering and then dying. So yeah, we all die, but do you want to actually live? Does that make sense?
I'm still doing my best to I'm still, you know, in all of that and trying to help in all the ways I can, but this is my life and I get to live it, and I want to be able to live it without tons of like physical health complications and problems. And I have been very like lucky and fortunate to like only suffer and struggle with the like handful of physical health things I have for the size that I am, my eating habits, all that and the whatever. And so and I still like my eating habits. I for the first time am not binging, and I'm not intentionally like not eating food. I forget because sometimes that happens with ADHD and whatever, but like I'm not doing it on purpose anymore, which feels healthy. So I'm still very like the fed is best mindset. So like if I'm feeding myself something, then that's good. But I also, you know, I don't like certain foods, so I know that I'm not getting like the proper nutrients all the time and stuff like that. I've always been borderline on a lot of stuff. I'm very like, we did all of my blood work not long ago, very like quote unquote healthy for, you know, whatever, but I do always hover around some stuff, and I do think that being able to
and that's the thing with blood work. It's like, I don't think it works this way, correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't go from healthy and then you go next week or next month or next year and all of a sudden it's unhealthy. I feel like it inches and it creeps up to like where she was like, oh, it's like hovering on that line, you know. Well, yeah, and then guess what? It's going to go into the unhealthy ranges.
Move more freely in my body without getting so tired and so winded will benefit me in like not having like this many asthma issues, because a lot of asthma stuff is environment. I moved out of the environment that was causing a lot of the asthma, I think, and then now it's, you know, not what seems to be under control, but there's nothing scary than not being able to breathe. So yeah, all of this to say, I got a gym membership, so I don't know, it does still sort of feel like a betrayal. Like I'm like, if I do this thing for myself, and I think it's because you see people online who preach fat liberation and body positivity and then all of this, and then they lose a bunch of weight and then they completely abandon their audience, and I don't want to do that. I still very much am standing 10 toes down on fat liberation.
Well, if you genuinely go into the health and wellness world and sphere, you will stop the whole body liberation fat activist BS, because you'll see how toxic and cult-like it is. But also, yes, people who were big, created their audience around fat liberation, blah blah blah, and then they lose weight and abandon their audience, is because those people are no longer their audience, and you do have to shift. You have to shift your content. Sure, can you still preach about like body liberation while being fit? I guess, but those two things don't really go hand in hand, because if you are fit and healthy, you realize that type of mindset is toxic and delusional.
And we should have better accommodations for people of size and better clothes and better, you know, all the things. I still definitely feel that way. I also don't think that I'm necessarily going to lose a bunch of weight and just be thin. That's not sort of what I think is in my cards, but I do want...
Again, there is a myriad of body types between morbidly obese and thin. You don't have to be thin. I don't think anyone except for Liv Schmidt is asking anyone to become thin. You can be healthy at a normal body size, or even a little bit more if you want to be a little bit more plump. Do you guys hear the rain? Doesn't that sound so nice? Me hoping that you guys are not annoyed with the rain. That was basically the end of her video anyway. I'm going to end my screen recording now, because I had to get going. I need to go back to work. I need to eat some lunch. What do I have for lunch? Ground turkey, jasmine rice, zucchini, and avocado. I'm excited for that. All right, if you have made it this far, thank you so much. Please make sure you like the video if you have not liked it already. Consider subscribing if you like my content and like to see my face. Follow my Instagram. I would appreciate it a lot. Check out my merch. Check out my channel memberships. I have 3 different tiers. I'm actually sending out the October Bisoning Club cards. That's my 3rd tier. I handwrite you a card every single month and I ship it to your house. And yeah, with all that being said, stay dry, stay healthy, and until next time, goodbye.
Maybe we can get down.